the brighter side of things, and how it's supposed to be. When you find your destiny, how it's supposed to be. Cuando regresé tuve medio loco. Talk about money, cause nothing will change. I've been all over, no one knew my name. And this $20 wisdom's got us running all the same. It's a different life when you are fortune's free. Give me my moment, I'll give you a show. No way of counting all the dues I owe, but the boys are growing up and the dogs
And thank you for calling Tom the Treeman Show. And we're speaking with the modern day peasants. You want to go ahead and introduce yourselves?
My name is Ben Buffington, and I sing and play guitar and play bass.
My name is Ben Kennett. I play drums.
My name's Evan Trainer, and I switch off with Ben Buffington, playing bass or guitar and singing lead vocals or background vocals.
Awesome. So I know that you guys are from St. Pete and that you guys have an alternative rock and reggae kind of sound. How'd you guys get started or meet up with each other?
I don't know. Well, I went to school with Evan. I still go to school with Evan, and we met there and started playing. And then I think Evan met Ben at Amsterdam on Central, right?
Yes. Yeah. I moved here from Maryland. I actually grew up in Pennsylvania. And within a week of living here, I met Evan, and we started playing together. And he told me about a really good drummer that he knew. And we started playing together in the beginning of 2016, and the rest is history.
I said he was an all right drummer.
Did you guys play with some other bands or anything before this?
Ben Buffington actually has recently joined another band that I've been in since I moved to St. Pete. I'm originally from St. Pete, but I moved down to the country of Panama when I was 6 and just moved back a couple years ago to go to school in SBC. And that's where I met Ben Kennett. But up until we started this band at the beginning of the year,
Yeah.
I was playing drums for a band called Tropical Disturbance, who's still playing actively here, and Chris Gilmer, Ben Buffington, and I all play in that band as well.
Well, that sounds cool. So you guys get to, kind of try different sounds, or are they very similar?
It is different. Go ahead, Ben.
No, you got this one.
I was going to say it is a different sound. Obviously we've got a different lead vocalist, which is a big thing in a band. Everyone who's listening to you on the radio will definitely be listening to the vocalist, and whoever's writing the songs will have, different ways that they're writing, different creative processes. So it's definitely a different sound, but you can tell if you're listening to one band or the other. There are a couple similarities. Chris Gilmore plays lead guitar in both bands, and he has a very signature sound. It's very distinct, and I like it
Nice.
both ways it comes. Yeah.
It's like like you said, a signature, kind of like his own fingerprint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome. So how did you guys come up with the name for Modern Day Peasants?
That was all Ben.
Well, Modern Day Peasants, I thought of it a little while ago. Basically, we want to represent the working class people. We want to represent the people that feel like they're kind of stuck in a circle of working to get by, and then you work 5 days, you get 2 days off, and you get 2 weeks of vacation a year, and we want to bring attention for people to try to break that cycle, maybe live a little bit more uncomfortably, but actually live,
Yeah.
And I think that sums up pretty well what we're trying to get out there.
Gotcha. Oh, that sounds interesting. So yeah, like you, because like you said, like modern day serfdom in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So, you want to do you have a favorite song or of yours that like sums up, I guess, your sound or your like signature?
I don't know about me, but I don't think there's one song that really does it, because how Evan writes is so different from how Ben writes. So everything you can tell which songs are written by him and which are written by Evan. But I don't think there's one song.
One thing I can say about that is before meeting Ben, he and I both wrote by ourselves, so we only wrote with, one person in mind and one person thinking about all these parts, all these different aspects that go into writing a song. However, now that we're actually in the process of recording an album at Red Attic Studios, we're going through each and every song and rewriting the songs together, basically, and they're coming out as kind of like a unison of both of our writing perspectives, and I'm impressed at myself and impressed in this band that it's coming out so well so far.
Nice. So, and I know Red Attic, they're local too.
I'm sorry, what you said?
I'm sorry. Yeah, the Red Attic Sound Studio. That's a local studio here too, I think.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, it's run by Chris Whipple. He was on your show, I think, a couple months ago.
Deviate the Plan, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I thought that all sounded very familiar. Awesome. Do you guys get to work together? You guys do any shows together so far?
We've talked about doing some shows together, but right now, Chris Whipple he's been fantastic with the whole process. Right now, we're in the middle of recording. Well, we actually just got done recording a single called "8th of Inspiration," which we're planning to release in light of our upcoming album, which we'll have more details on that on all our social media in the next couple months.
Okay.
But our relationship with them right now is he's like a producer for us right now. He's really taken this under his wing, and he's really taken his time with everything. We can't say enough about what he's done with us so far.
Oh, Oh, that is so cool. Because I did get to catch one of his shows over at the Orpheum in Ybor a while back. So I hope to get to see one of your shows here soon too. Do you guys have anything coming up?
That'd be great.
Do you guys have anything coming up?
Yes, we're playing at Sacred Grounds Coffee House on September 30th. The show starts at 9 p.m.
Okay, cool. And I know that I see that you've played at some other places around town and or around the area and everything too. You want to go ahead and mention any of those or any what those experiences were like? What you thought of that? Do you have it?
Nobody wants to talk over each other. We most recently played a Battle of the Bands that was hosted by Tampa Bay Sound and Productions, and that was at Quaker Steak and Lube up on 49th Street.
Mm-hmm.
And Tampa Bay Sound and Productions did a really good job of putting the bands together and organizing everything through weather conditions and technical difficulties. We ended up making it through the first round, but losing out fairly to a band called the Cruz Brothers, who also play around the area that you've heard of them. But that was our, I think, first show with Chris Gilmer, right, Ben?
Yeah,
I think it was.
So for us to make it through the first round and do very well in the second round, it was very complimenting to how much work we put in off stage.
I'm excited to hear that we have so much going on in our local area for the rock scene, because
for sure.
I mean, I like the new stuff that I'm hearing, and I'm really excited about hearing your stuff because just like you said, modern day peasants, and I get a little too much into politics, I guess, myself personally. So I I have a feeling I'm going to be in love with your music.
Well, we're really excited for the world to hear our stuff as well.
Awesome.
I also wanted to add that our keyboardist name is Alex Benyata, and he's a 16-year-old whiz kid. He is a phenomenal musician.
Oh my gosh.
He's a genius.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh. 16 years old. I can't even imagine. I would not even been able to when I was 16. So if you guys had I guess maybe a favorite classic rock band or anything like that you would say would maybe be like an inspiration to you, or maybe made you think got you interested in into doing music.
You guys just want to go around and say somebody shows ours?
Yeah.
All right. Ben?
Well, as far as writing goes, I draw a lot of influences from My Chemical Romance, Under Oath, and even some poppy stuff, maybe a little bit of Jason Mraz. But that for me to say my favorite band, I've never been able to answer that question. Growing up, I listened to a lot of Sum 41. Kind of outgrew that a little bit, and then moved on to a band called Moving Mountains. They're like indie rock, and I really like a band called Lydia as well.
I grew up listening to a bunch of classic rock. I was influenced by my dad a bunch with that. My favorite band for years on end was Led Zeppelin. I just listened to that on shuffle. But I also listened to Van Halen and Black Sabbath, Judas Priest. I listened to those bands up until the point when I started playing live, and I was required to start listening to more modern genres of, Nirvana to the Sublime Reggae. And once I started playing with those, was about the time that I started playing guitar too, and I found out that Sublime was pretty easy to play on the guitar, and I feel like that's where my writing has started. But my writing process evolves continually through inspirations that I hear from other artists and just natural what comes to me when it does. So that's it for me. What about you, Kenneth?
Well, when I was growing up, my parents mainly played me like Sting, Prince, Stevie Wonder, that kind of stuff. But once I moved here, I started playing actually a lot of metal bands, and then going to big bands. Somewhere else, started playing reggae, hip hop. So I played a little bit of everything, but a lot of bands that kind of helped me grow as were also my Temple band, Breaking Benjamin, Stevie Wonder also. But yeah, it's a bunch of stuff.
Oh yeah, Stevie Wonder, of course.
Yeah, but yeah, it's interesting because I have more like R&B influence than most people I know, and then it's more bird punk, and then Evan has this like classic rock reggae feel and everything she does. So it's really interesting to hear how it all sounds together.
Nice.
Yeah, we a lot. Everybody in the band, every single person has grown up listening to a lot of different variety of things. And it's really interesting when we all get in a room together because it's almost like we're all playing different genres at the same time. And so I think our sound is very interesting. It's very original.
That's cool, though. That's actually pretty cool because, I mean, it keeps things kind of fresh and interesting, and you get to put your own spin on things.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Do you have like some social media, some newsletters, or ways for fans to follow you and get more news about you?
Yeah, we are. We're on Facebook, Modern Day Peasants. We're on Twitter, MD Peasants. We're on YouTube. We're on every social media outlet that you could possibly want to find us on. We are on there. We're on iTunes, Spotify, everywhere.
MySpace.
Everything except MySpace.
It's like anybody on MySpace anymore. Awesome. So, and you said you have a show coming up at Sacred Grounds on September 30th. So people can go and check you out there. And do you guys have a release time frame for your EP, or is that still kind of up in the air?
Yeah, that. Go ahead, Evan.
Hopefully by early next year we'll have something close to being able to release. We're planning on having close to a 11-song album, so it's gonna take a lot of work, but we're all excited and interested in getting it done as soon as possible and getting this thing on the road.
Wow. I see though that on your Facebook it mentions that you have a debut EP in Life that's available on iTunes.
I'm sorry. What was the question? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I see that on your Facebook it says that you have a debut EP in Life that's available on iTunes. Is that correct?
Oh yes, that's actually solo stuff of mine.
Oh.
I was living in Maryland, and I was really trying to get a band together, and things were not working out well. And so I just decided that I was just going to go and record these songs at a studio and do everything except for the drums myself. And then while that was being mastered and mixed and produced and all that, I moved to Florida. We put this band together, and we released it as a project, as our song.
Wow. That's awesome, actually.
Yeah, I think it came out pretty well. I think I like to look at it as more of a preview of what we're capable of. I think a lot of people are gonna see that this next album that we're working on now has really evolved. It has really grown into something a lot more, I would say, well-rounded than the debut EP.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's very like. I was gonna say, like back in the old days with music and stuff, you didn't hear anything until it was like basically all like polished and edited and everything else. So I think this is actually pretty cool, to get to hear, how you guys started off, and basically your your raw sound, and then, like you said, how it evolves from there.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty.
Yeah, yeah. It's been a very exciting process.
Cool. So, do you look forward to any particular stages that you want to play on someday?
Oh, wow. I have a list. We could do I want to play. Are you talking about in the near future?
Oh, in the near future, or even 5 years down the road.
Well, I've always wanted to play Mid Florida. But we could also play Wit, Indie War, Big Theater, hopefully.
I've always dreamt of playing Vans Warped Tour.
Oh yeah.
But I think everybody does.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely in the next 6 months to a year be playing in the local 662, which is like a midway step, ringside, bars like those. And then, maybe a year and a half out, we'd be working our way into headlining shows at State Theater or, opening acts at Janus. And then, from there, the sky's the limit. We should be touring by then, and everything's golden, right? All right. I'm going to have to drop off here. I got to head to work.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for calling in and talking to me today. And I definitely look forward to speaking to you guys and following you guys. So if you guys have any shows coming up, or when you have more release information on your album or anything, just feel free to get in touch with us so we can go ahead and share that.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. That means a lot to us.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, I look forward to hearing you. And I'm going to go ahead and throw some of your music in for our audience to listen to too.
All right.
Thanks a lot for having us.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yes.
We'll talk to you later.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
It's 3 a.m. You're wasting sheep. You're flustered on the little things. Roll around and try again. Paddle, paddle just to stay alive. Like vultures on the sea they are, and we're paintings on a wall that's carved. And you're stuck in your daily grind. From 9 to 5, where our dreams go to die. Falling in line doesn't sound so fine. I want it all to rise and fall while holding on to silly pipe dreams like we had when we were teens. And if my luck can't stay, well, I'm better off this way. It's 2 p.m. Stop sleeping in. Say tomorrow, march right in. Get up and let the world in. Paddle, paddle just to stay alive. Like vultures on the sea they are, and we're paintings on a wall that's carved. And you're stuck in your daily grind. From 9 to 5, where our dreams go to die. Falling in line doesn't sound so fine. I want it all to rise and fall, holding on to silly pipe dreams like we had when we were teens. And if my luck can't stay, I'm better off this way. father heads through the door. Recalls words of his father, son, this world will be yours. Chalking trees into these old sidewalks, resenting people's cold smiles and small talks. Seems so sick of searching for this so-called so much more. And the whispers in the wind just blow and shake him to his core. So he throws his hood up, covers up what he lacks. The boy that left his home that day just ain't turning back. Finger at whomever they choose, never taking time to walk